Hey everybody, Ryan O'Halloran, Buffalo News, along with Jay Skurski here at the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. I have no idea what day it is. I think it's Thursday. But this morning here in Indy, safeties and corners met with the media. Let's talk about safeties a little bit. The Bills got some options because they got old guys. If you read the tea leaves right now, listening to Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, what do you think their plan A is?
Well, I think, first of all, they need to get an answer from Micah Hyde. I think that it's leaning toward Micah Hyde is not going to be back in 2024, whether that's through retirement or just that the Bills opt to not re-sign him. I think it's sort of been trending that way really since the season ended. He sounded to me like a guy who was strongly leaning toward retirement, and with a neck injury, you can understand that. I think they'd want Jordan Poyer back in that situation because they probably don't want to break in two new safeties in Sean McDermott's defense. It's an important position. I don't know that they're going to want Poyer back at the price that he currently is on the cap, which is over $7 million. It's tough to ask a veteran like that to take a pay cut, a guy who's done so much for your franchise. So I wonder if there's some sort of creative way that they can get something done with Poyer to lessen that cap hit. I think that would be ideal for them. When you consider what it means to be here, and as you said, the safeties talk this morning, it doesn't look to be a particularly great draft class for safeties. I mean, I think Daniel Jeremiah doesn't have one ranked in his top 50. So if you are considering going the draft route to replace Hyde and or Poyer, I don't know that that's the best option. So to me, it's a position that you'd want to bring Poyer back on your terms in some way, and then maybe you try to find a low-cost free agent just to give you a little bit of wiggle room if the draft doesn't fall the way that you'd hope it to at the position.
Yeah, and I'll start with Hyde. If I'm the Bills, I sort of want him to retire so I don't have to make the decision to move on from a franchise stalwart, have him retire as a Bill. And also, the Bills sort of need to know on this, like in the next week or two. I think Micah's camp sort of knows that. And if he decides to play come April, May, I'm sure somebody will take him on a one-year deal. I agree with you on Poyer. You don't want to start a pay cut precedent with guys who've been Warriors for you. Maybe you add one of those voided years. He gets all the money he was entitled to. It just is his housekeeping. But I think plan B would be Poyer. And then there's so many free agent safeties out here that not all of them are going to get paid. Not all of them are going to have a market. Look at Poyer last year. So you go with Poyer, you sign a veteran, and then you draft one maybe third or fourth round and start grooming them. Because right now they have no depth in this organization at safety. And so it has to be a priority. And the thing that jumped out at these guys is they weren't very big. So, can any of them be a box safety? Does Bobby Babich, does his stamp interchangeable safeties where Free and Strong can both play positions? So let's move to corner real quick. Trey White, what do you think crystallized this week with him? I don't know if you guys covered it earlier in the week, but to me it was an interesting turn, I think.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario with Trey White is to get creative with a contract extension that includes a lot of non-guaranteed money. You can actually realize a bigger cap savings than just releasing him outright. I think doing right by Trey White would give him the opportunity to get healthy, and if he can't do it, you can still move on down the road. I think depth-wise, it's nice to have him around. They can cut him. That is significant. They can do it. It would be with a waived physical designation, and they would realize that cap savings. I think that's still on the table for a team that is over the projected cap. But I think with what he's meant to the organization, similar to Poyer and Hyde, I think you want to do right by the player and give him an opportunity to get healthy.
Yeah, and I think I'm of the mind you should draft a corner every year.
Yes.
Because it's such, as the Bills have seen, it's such an injury-threatened position. Trey White hasn't been able to stay on the field. Christian Benford, when he's played, has been developing, but he's just like every week there's something else with him. And then Dane Jackson, he's a free agent. So, and then we could do a whole other video on Kyrie. We'll save that for later. But so we talked about safeties, corners. We talked about a lot of veterans who are Sean McDermott loyalists, but sometimes age is going to take over. So you're going to see changes in the secondary for the Bills this year. So for Jay, I'm Ryan, BuffaloNews.com.